Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow. Say hi, Terry.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week, we read a book.
Yay.
We read the book, Evvie Drake Starts Over, by Linda Holmes. So we will get to that in a minute because I think we both really enjoyed it.
We did.
But first, did we enjoy the dancing on So You Think You Can Dance? All right, Terry, we had 2 more hours of dancing. We had 5 more routines from each of our top 6. And by the end, we were only with the top 4. And it was fun to see a lot of the All-Stars routines, although our friend Gabby came back and she did not tap, so...
I would really have rather seen her tap with Eddie than whatever it was that she did with Ezra, but...
Yeah.
I did hear that after her season, or after her win, she went and started studying contemporary. So I guess that's her style now? I don't know.
Well,
did they just sign her on in case they needed to tap her? Okay, tap dancing guys in here. Could you do thrashing, barefoot thrashing, contemporary,
else, please? And make sure you wear like raggedy clothes. So
oh my god, that was just.
And then I had to laugh during the little pre-dance package when they asked Ezra if he'd had like a bad breakup. Or had a relationship end. And, and I'm like, he's 18. Like, can we not, please?
Yes. Yes. They're babies.
And the thing is, I'm jumping around a lot, but
yes, that's
you know, there were 6 left, so there were 6 solos, and 4 of them were contemporary. And it just makes it so hard for any one of them to stand out, I think.
It does.
Just in the way contemporary is, period. And then when you have Bailey do this crazy breakdancing where he's basically never on his feet. He's always like on his knees or on his head or on his hands or whatever. And that's amazing. And then Ezra does this totally fun, kooky, you know, like groovy thing.
Yes.
Ballroom solo to a Bruno Mars song. And like you remember those. The other 4, completely forgettable.
Yeah, I think it was Madison and Lex did their thing, and everybody was talking about how much chemistry they had, and I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. They didn't seem to connect at all. And then Ezra comes out to do his solo, and he's got, like, more chemistry by himself.
Yeah.
than the 2 of them did.
Although I liked their sort of 70s groovy groove.
I guess.
Madison and Lex. That I enjoyed it.
She had her adorable boyfriend on the episode today, and I can just watch them for an hour.
They're
very, very cute together. And I think
cute.
I suspect that if she was dancing with him, there would be more chemistry. So.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah. It's hard for me to get over continually that they are all of them so very young.
Right.
And a lot of what is being asked of them, both in terms of prying questions and in terms of, you know, being able to build a relationship with a stranger in the time it takes to learn a routine, is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
So, and ladies and gentlemen, we have your new showmans just getting in under the wire.
Gino and Sophie. She really planted one on him at the end of their dance.
She did.
That was a fun dance that Broadway, you know, they said at the end, you know, that he was very Gene Kelly. And I agree, just with all the spins and jumps that he did.
He does a lot. He's a very, I don't know, busy dancer. I just get such a frantic feeling out of him. And I don't know, because Nigel was saying how he never, you know, he's always finishing the movement and moving into the next. And maybe that's the same thing, except that I don't like that as much. That it's just, and I mean, certainly I love Bailey. He's my favorite. And he's also always doing something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just his numbers seem the duets that he's done with Sophie, there's just seems to be a busyness about them, or kind of just frantic is the word that comes to mind. I don't know why. I did not care for the number he did with, was it Comfort?
Yeah.
At all.
The Egyptian thing. Mm-hmm.
He just looked like the whitest little white boy in that Egyptian getup. I don't know. I mean, they're all wonderful, and they're all doing extremely hard things.
Yeah.
And it feels bad to have to make any choices between them.
Right.
But, you know, I'm Team Bailey.
Yeah.
I'm there in a t-shirt with his entire female clan.
Right. They were very sweet. Yeah.
I just like that kid.
Yeah, I liked him. I liked the Mambo Italiano that he did to kick off the show. That was really fun.
Yeah.
But
again, he looked like a little kid dancing with a grown-up, but still.
Yeah, and same in his duet with Mariah, even though they were trying to make them look really tough.
Yeah.
But they're still so fun to watch. They
really are, and they're both really good. I mean, they can be really good little kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, for me, and my untrained eye, the two of them are like a notch above.
Mm-hmm.
The couple to beat.
I stand corrected.
Did that stick get passed back and forth? Oh, well. You know, one thing that they do on this show sometimes that I dislike, that zombie opening number
that
thing,
was creepy.
You couldn't tell who was who, especially since we had not yet been introduced to which All-Stars were there. So there's like 12 people on the stage, and you're like, is that? I can't tell. I mean, Bailey, you can kind of pick out of a crowd. But what is the purpose of it, if not to be able to see how these kids are dancing? You can't just you know, if you can't pick them out of the crowd, I hate that. It's not the first time. Well, and
it's also this sort of trend of the creepy, zombie or ghost or, you know, some sort of undead Victorian maid situation that, you know.
Yes. I feel like we've seen that before also.
Like they've done that.
Yeah. Another thing I was thinking with the All-Stars is, why do the pairings always have to be guy-girl?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these, you know, not all of the dances were partner dances, and certainly there are enough different styles that they would never have to do a partner dance for those.
Right.
It would have been real fun to see two guys doing a routine or two girls. They can't, you know, they have their pairs going through, but it seems like since we have this second set of duets, it would have been a good opportunity to mix that up a little bit.
Yeah, and I remember them doing that in like the finales or maybe the top four, where they mix up the remaining contestants like that.
Right.
But you're right. Why not do it with the All-Stars? You know?
I was really thinking that was a missed opportunity.
Like Bailey and Fiction together? How great would that be?
That would have been awesome.
So fun.
And boy, how, you know, it shows you a level of professionalism. How smoothly he took care of that hat was just so fun.
I was wondering if it was on purpose.
Yeah, it really looked like it could have just been part of the routine. Just a look on her face, a brief moment of panic on her face suggested that it was not, that he just like integrated it seamlessly into the routine.
Right, very
That was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
yeah, you're right. I mean, when it fell off, I was like, I don't think that was on purpose.
No.
And when he just effortlessly kicked it off out of the way. It was
so cool.
Nice.
Yes.
I like Fiction.
That is a pro.
He's a fun guy. So we have our top four, and we're not really surprised as to who it is.
Yeah. They've certainly been, positioning Gino and Sophie in such a way that it would be very difficult for them to be the ones that go.
Right.
So.
And Bailey and Mariah.
They went to all the trouble of arranging a showmance. Come on.
Right. We're not going to give
Don't
that
send
up
our showmances
now.
home over and over. These things take effort.
Yeah. I did think it was kind of funny when they did their, who's your biggest fan or whatever. Because remember back in the auditions, Sophie made such a huge deal about her little sister and how she was her
Yes, I thought that's who it was going to be.
I guess they were like, no, you can't have like a 12-year-old for your... We need a different story now. Sorry, you used that one.
Yeah. Well, they all seem to have significant rooting blocks in the audience. So.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, well. Another. I can't quite imagine 2 more weeks of just these 4 kids doing that many dances.
Right.
I just really, I mean, does it feel to you like in past seasons there's been like a higher, it's not necessarily a degree of professionalism, but just, I guess maturity or...
Yes, and also...
There's something missing.
Well, I don't know if it's the way it's structured, because for all that time it was auditions and academy and all that stuff, and it was so many people and so many stories, and we felt like we didn't know anybody. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, well, now there's only 10. And and then you only had a week with the 10 and now it's 8. And, it was going too slow and now it's going too fast. And it's just...
Yeah.
And like odd. Kat was saying, tonight is the most important. It's like, well, yeah, every successive week is the most important because otherwise they're going home.
We're on to you. We've learned how this works.
Right.
They can't always be the most important.
Right. So,
oh, well.
Anyway.
I did think it was cute when Ezra left and he picked Bailey up to hug him.
That was adorable. Extremely cute.
Yeah, did they really, though? I mean, they really had to send the 2 of them home at the same time, because otherwise there's a height issue.
Problem.
To send the 2 tall ones home.
Yeah.
Tallest ones home. We have like large, medium, and small. Mm-hmm. You have to kind of keep the sets.
Right. Exactly.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it was certainly enjoyable, though.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens next week, and then the following week is the finale. So that's when we'll get some of these old people coming back, and they'll fill it up that way.
So. Yes, that would be good.
All right. So from the dancing, we'll go to baseball, I guess. The book Evvie Drake Starts Over is by Linda Holmes, who we both have been listening to on NPR's Pop Culture Happy Hour for years and years.
Yes.
Like a very long time. It's probably the first podcast that I ever listened to.
Yeah, I think one of my first too. And then I believe I read her work before that on Television Without Pity. Mm-hmm. So, she's long been a favorite writer and speaker. And now, look, she has a shiny new book.
She has a new book. It is a novel about a young woman who is a widow and who has a best friend who's a guy, and then he has a friend who is a washed-up baseball pitcher, and he decides... The friend, Andy, says, how about if my pitcher friend, Dean, comes and rents your apartment in your house? And guess what happens?
Yes.
When the 2 single people who are both recovering from a rather difficult time end up living in the same house. So,
but it
is very... sweet. I liked it a lot. I liked all the relationships. The relationships between Evvie and Dean, who's the baseball player. At the point where they are just getting to know each other, it's really sweet and well done. And also later after they actually get together,
right?
And then there's her relationship with her friend Andy and his daughters, who are young, and he's a single dad, and so there's a lot going on, and it's just really well done, and a fun, quick read. Yeah, what did you think?
I agree. I really enjoyed it. I didn't, read it in the same way. I listened to it. Julia Whalen did the reading of it, and she's wonderful. And it was very fun to hear her do a range of New England voices this time, when the last time I heard her, she was doing a range of British voices for her own book,
wow.
My Oxford Year.
Right.
So she was very enjoyable. And it's, it's somewhat different listening to a book than reading a book. I'm not sure you retain things in the same way, but while I was listening to it, I really enjoyed it. I felt like it really took its time with the plot. I mean, at some point how this is going to turn out, but I didn't feel like it was in any rush, and I felt like it took a lot of time to really establish the stuff that was going on with these people. Evvie's very complicated situation with her deceased husband, and Dean's, we all know that sometimes this happens with pitchers, that all of a sudden they can't pitch, but we don't really think about it that much. And it just really went into what that would mean and what you do about it and how you feel about it and how the rest of the world reacts to it. I think it really took its time establishing all of that and kind of bringing him through it in a significant way, which is what needed to happen. And slowly revealing, I think we knew at the beginning what the situation was with Evvie's husband, but it got revealed slowly to other people throughout. And I thought that was really nicely done too. So I didn't feel, it really gave the book a lot of depth, I think.
Yes.
And a lot of really deep feeling for its characters, rather than just a meet cute, a minor complication, and happily ever after.
Yeah.
These are people with some serious issues to work out, and it's not necessarily going to be easy, and they have to do that work. But, even at the end, they're together, but it's not like they're sailing off into the sunset.
Right.
There's still unanswered questions and unresolved issues.
Yeah, and at the point in the book where they got together, I was like, well, there's a lot more book left here.
Yes.
Like, this, what's going to happen? What's going to get sort of thrown in their way because, there's a lot more ground to cover here. And as you said, it was nice that what got thrown in their way was just their own needs to take care of themselves and to sort through what they were experiencing without talking about like self-care or something cheesy, but it was very, as you said, it was very real, and I just enjoyed all the characters.
Yeah.
And I thought she was very good at little details, like Evvie notices that her friend Andy has a little girl's hair tie on his wrist. She's like, so one of his girls had taken her braid out at grandma's house or something. Like, just a tiny detail about being a single dad, and also about being a friend who would notice that sort of thing.
Yes, that is lovely. And I liked sort of the use of the way we are today with stories like Dean's. The whole scene where at one point he goes to pitch at it's not even a minor league baseball team, right? It's just kind of a local.
I think it's a minor league team, but it's like an exhibition game. Yeah. It's not even a real game.
And you're already feeling like, oh my gosh, if this goes bad, he's going to feel terrible and the word is going to get out. People are going to talk about it and whatever. And then you realize that everybody there has a phone. And even as it's happening, it's being broadcast onto the internet, so that before it's even over, everybody knows. And how horrifying that is.
Right, because they make sure to keep it a secret before he gets there, but obviously they can't keep it a secret after. And I'm glad that she acknowledged that. So many books or other pieces of pop culture, they just sort of ignore the fact that, everyone has a phone. Like in this one, there's a point at which Evvie texts. Well, there's lots of points where she texts people, but where she texts her friend Andy, and it felt again real, like the way somebody would do it, and it doesn't. It's not like a TV trope where she would just like show up at his house or something. Like that's not the way real people act.
Right.
So that was considered here.
Yeah. There was just talking about details we enjoyed. The whole bit about she still has these dishes that she never liked, but they're just That's what's just one of the things that you never even think that you have the option to do anything about. These are just the dishes we have. These are the dishes we got. These are the dishes. It's like you don't think, well, I've got that man out of my hair. I'm just going to go buy me some new plates at Target. Right. And just kind of even coming to the realization that, I can do something about this was something that I would never have thought of, but is just like a perfect detail for kind of getting your life back and not, getting out of autopilot.
Right. Taking a step.
Right. So there were a lot of things in there like that are just like really distinctive, observed things, which we've always known Linda Holmes is good at. And it was nice to see them put in the service of these characters and the novel. And I know she knows her way around a romance because she's done a lot of very, very amusing columns about Hallmark movies and stuff like that. So she has studied well, and this is just delightful. So if you see, I saw a whole display of this in my Barnes & Noble the other day. You're going to be seeing this book around, listeners. And when you do, buy yourself a copy or check it out and wait like Catherine did.
Yes, I waited... What was it? Maybe 6 weeks or so to get it from the library, even though my library system had about 30 copies of the book. So
or buy it as I did on Audible and have it read extremely well read to you. And then at the end, Linda Holmes reads her acknowledgments, which is so much fun if you listen to and read the same things that Catherine and I do, because it was like a who's who of people that we follow and listen to and read.
Yes, that was extremely fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
It really is fun. It's fun to read and fun to listen to.
Yes.
So, as indeed is the entire book. So,
yes.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. 4 thumbs up.
Applause.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, we do. A hearty round of applause.
You're right.
A wave in the
stadium,
in the bleachers.
In the baseball stadium. Yes. So next week we will continue with our So You Think You Can Dance watch. It'll be the top 4 performing. And on the West Wing, we're going to skip the live debate episode. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen and
thank you.
Head right on into the following episode, which is called Undecideds. From season 7, and we're just going to talk about it amongst ourselves without having the accompanying West Wing Weekly episode.
Yes.
Because then the following week we're going to double up on dance because it'll be
so much dance.
So much dancing all in one night. I don't know why they did this to us, but it'll be the finale of So You Think and the premiere of Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, the controversial new season of Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
Contestants we don't like, pros we miss. It's just, I think the lesson they learned from last season was, hey, if you do controversial things, they talk about you like you're important.
Yeah, that's how it goes. No publicity is bad publicity. Or
exactly.
Whatever. So anyway, we'll do that that'll be in 2 weeks. But that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Terry.
Goodbye, Catherine.
Goodbye, everyone.